Hi everyone, I'm back again with another makeup tutorial. The response from the last one was really positive and everyone seemed to enjoy it. So I figured I'd be back and doing one of my second favorite, well actually my first favorite, makeup designs, which is the vampire. A lot of you guys requested this, and so I figured I would do it. What's good about doing the zombie and then the vampire is they're sort of foundational. So the things that I taught you with the zombie approach directly applies to the vampire and vice versa. It's similar techniques, but it's just a different mindset. I think with the vampire, depending on your approach, maybe you want to go with a handsome thing or attractive thing. So you want to look as attractive as possible. Personally, I like to do something that looks attractive and kind of sexy, but is also unsettling and scary. Like kind of walking that fine line, that balance. But depending on what you want to do and how crazy you want to get with it, we can kind of add to it. Okay, if we're doing a vampire, first thing we need to talk about are fangs. There's a couple of types of fangs that I would recommend. There's these types of fangs where they're these little caps that you put on your teeth like this to make your fangs appear. These are really, really comfortable, and they come with a gel, these gel beads that you put in there, and then you get a custom fit. These work great in most cases. For most people. Personally, I'm going to use a full denture for my design because I happen to have really small teeth. So it's hard for people to see my teeth in general, and if they can't see my teeth, they can't see my fangs. So I'm going to use a full denture, and this has a similar technique. You get this gel, and then you boil water, you put the gel beads in the water, and then you put it on the denture, and then you get a perfect custom fit. So I choose to use these. I think if you have small teeth, you may want to look for something like this. That way people always see your teeth, always see your fangs, because it's so important to the vampire thing, okay? If you have regular sized teeth, these are great. And both of them are about $20 a piece on Amazon. So I would say choose what suits your face and your teeth size the best. The next thing we need to talk about when doing a vampire look is the contact lenses. Again, I'm a huge proponent of contact lenses for makeup effects. It really transforms your look. For this particular vampire design, I decided to show you guys what a full sclera contact looks like. They're really challenging. If you have a lot of experience with contact lenses, you'll figure it out. They're difficult to put on. They're difficult to wear for extended periods of time. They're the most uncomfortable of the contact lenses, but the effect is crazy. Basically, it covers all the whites of your eyes, so it is extremely dramatic. And for this particular tutorial, I'm going to wear these the entire time. So I'm going to put them in first, and then we're going to do the makeup while I have them on, so you can really see what the effect is and how powerful it is. Again, if you're experienced with contact lenses, you can get used to these. It's taken me a couple years to get used to them. Initially, when I first got them, I could only wear them for like 2-3 hours. Now I can wear them 4 or 5 hours, but at some point during the night, I want to scratch my eyes out because they're extremely uncomfortable. But then again, you know, you got to suffer for your art, and the effect is so worth it. Okay, so here I am with the full sclera contacts on. This design is kind of like a fiery eye kind of look. As you can see, the effect is pretty incredible. I've used these for a Ghost Rider costume that I did. the devil. I've used it for the devil. And I think these work really well for vampire, especially when you go to a vampire event and everyone's wearing the standard stuff and you really want to do something super different, super dramatic. I highly recommend getting a set of full sclera contacts. One pro tip I would give you when you decide to do this and you make this leap, the first time you wear these out, take the case with you. The reason I say that is because these things are going to drive you crazy. And once you start to get used to it, you kind of know what they feel like. Over time, you're going to be okay. But the first time, it is exercise in mental stamina. It's total. Sort of feels like a razor blade cutting the edges of your eyes after maybe 3 or 4 hours. So that's the thing. Take the case with you just in case you're just like, nope, I can't do it. And you know what? I won't blame you for it because they are challenging to wear. Okay, first up, you know the drill. Similar to the zombie makeup, we're going to use this mousse foundation. This is my wife's particular shade, and she's very pale skinned. So take that, take one of your triangles, and you go ahead and apply it all over, wherever you want the effect to be. Okay, here I am with the foundation, very pale foundation on. The foundation is sort of the catalyst for everything, similar to the zombie makeup I did. From here, we're gonna go to Clown White. It's Clown White makeup that I used before. What we want to do is do a contouring with this. And we also want to be a little more heavy-handed with it because everyone knows that a vampire is extremely pale and kind of dead looking. So I'm going to do the contour lines, and then I'm going to show you the contour lines, and I'm going to explain them. Okay, so here are the contour lines for the vampire that I like to use. I'm going for handsome. I'm trying to get that sort of look. And also like handsome mixed with gargoyle. You know, I have these really cool that I absolutely love. Naturally on my face, I have high cheekbones as well, so it's kind of perfect for me. Less skeletal, not so much like the zombie. Kind of full cheekbones, full forehead, angular, strong jawline, and then collarbone, that sort of thing. From here, we take another triangle brush. You can use the same one you use with the foundation if you want. Just kind of reuse that. And we're going to blend it all in. Again, dab it. Do not scrape it. Dab it. Okay, so now the Clown White has been blended with the foundation. You can kind of see where this is headed. It's really accentuating some of the structural details of my face, making my nose a little more angular, making my face a little more angular. But this is just the first step. With this vampire, I sort of wanted to put a little green, sort of a green slant to it. That way we have the really nice reds of the blood, and then we have some green. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add contour lines to the areas we want to recess, like here and here, the eyes, here, with a green grease paint, which is very, very similar to the Clown White. Clown White is grease paint. Okay, so now I have the recessed contour lines with the green. Looks something like this. Everyone's bone structure is different, but in general, you just want to look a little more gaunt, a little more angular. That tends to work out very well for a vampire look. From here, you take another triangle brush and you blend it all in, dabbing. Okay, so I blended the green, and you can kind of see how that's looking. This is not the end of the contouring pass. We're going to do more with the eyeshadow. The eyeshadow will set everything and also add a bit more color and get it away from the sterility. Um, I went greener for this because I want to go a little more otherworldly with this vampire design. If you want to just do kind of handsome gothic, then don't use the green. You can use kind of just human color, the browns, the flesh colors to do this sort of contouring effect, and then you'll look goth really. But again, I'm going to go a little beyond that with my approach. Okay, from here I'm going to use this eyeshadow palette to introduce a bit more green and also set and refine the contouring. Okay, so here I am halfway. I have refined with eyeshadow on this side, and I haven't on this side. So you can kind of see it's a lot more airbrush looking. There's a lot more subtlety and nuance, and even some sharper contouring there. I just wanted to show you what that would look like with and without. Okay, we're all blended now. You can kind of see it. And from here, I want to start introducing different hues to the design. It's very green now. If you went with this, it'd be fine, but it's just not. It's kind of dull. So I'm going to start introducing this kind of orange red to the design in key spots to really work with what the eyes are doing. There's a lot of red and orange and yellow in the eyes of the contacts. So I want to introduce some of that back into the design. What I'll do here is start introducing this kind of red-orange around the eyes. You can kind of see this, this is more interesting. Color is such a huge ally when it comes to makeup. Originally, when I started this, I thought, okay, what do I want to do that's kind of different that I haven't done before? And I wanted to do a very green vampire. And then I thought, well, what would complement that nicely on the color wheel? Ooh, oranges, reds, and that's why I chose these contacts. Again, choosing a palette is super important if you want to look, if you want your makeup to look polished and not just applied. Okay, so we're done adding the orange-red elements. As you can see, it's pretty dramatic right off. We're not done yet though. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna set all this stuff with a baby powder, which I like to use. Again, I like using baby powder over setting powder because this one smells so good. And it's cheaper and it does the job, and I just prefer it. So I'm gonna add that on my face with this sort of technique. And the reason I'm doing that is so the things I do after this, the blood pass, the eyeliner, eyebrow, all that stuff doesn't end up mixing with everything and looking bad. And depending on how much grease paint you have on, you may want to take a brush and brush it on. If you feel this is too dark of green, then you may want to do that because this is going to add a little bit of a white glow, but that's entirely up to you. Okay, the powder setting pass is done. As you can see, it's kind of made things a little more subtle, blended things a little bit more, and most importantly, it set things for what's to come. The next thing I want to do is if you look at my facial hair, if you look at my eyebrows, it's all kind of blending in. It looks a bit powdery. I want it to really stand out. I want that contrast. So what I'm going to use is this eyeliner, liquid eyeliner paste stuff. There. And I get another triangle brush. and I start looking at what I want to be very dark, and I start to apply it like this and kind of see where that goes right away. And I'm going to do that to all my facial hair, to my eyebrow region, to my mustache, maybe some of my sideburns, and maybe draw on a widow's peak and start to add those details. Okay, so now I have all the features. No, so accentuated all my features, angular. Um, I used an eyeliner pencil, and also the paste. Here's a quick tip for all you guys who like to wear guy liner. If you look at my eye, I don't go all the way around. I flare out, and I actually rub it with my finger to get that kind of heroin chic sort of look. If you do it all the way around uniformly, your eye will look smaller. And that's not why women wear eyeliner. They do it to make their eyes look bigger. I tend to have small sunken eyes, so the way I do it is I flare it outward, and it kind of gives you that cool effect. Um, yeah, and I use this to accentuate things, the eyebrows, the widow's peak. Next up is your favorite and mine, the blood pass. My two favorite things to use is this stuff. You can get it on Amazon, dirt cheap. I think this was $20 for this whole thing. Awesome, super cool. And again, blood spray. Blood spray will do a dither sort of feel, and the blood liquid will be, dripping, uh, you know, uh, spattering down, that sort of feel. So since I want to shock people with my look, I want my vampire to look like he just fed. I use a sponge. I put blood in the cap. Use a sponge to kind of squeeze out what I want. I don't like being perfect. I want it to be incidental. So I want to try to create a good look by letting the liquid do its thing. I'm not a fan of being precious either with my movements. I want mistakes to happen, because a lot of the times they end up being really good mistakes. And if something goes wrong, you can always wipe it off and do it over. But 9 times out of 10, it works out pretty well. Okay, before I finish the blood pass, I want to put my vampire teeth in, and you'll see why. So I'll put them in. These are custom fit to me, so they work out pretty well. This goes away, but I love to do it because it's super dramatic. Is I put big blood on the teeth. Super scary. Okay, the final step is spray. And there you have it, vampire.